Need a shimmy? I'll be twerking in a minute. If you want to say hello, StreamYard do music. I wouldn't say it's our kind of music. We'd have a bit of Gok Isolation Nation on for you if we were allowed, but you know,
it's tends the best to block.
Yes.
Exactly. If we try and play our own music, we'll get copyright warnings. So StreamYard have brought their own music out, but it's not very good. But that was the best one, okay?
Yeah, we've had worse. So we are here with you live. Happy Thursday. Welcome to your Thursday. We are excited today. We've got things to share with you. We've got some golden nuggets to drop on you. But first, we want to do a little bit of Donna and Cheryl reflection, because there's something that's really been on our hearts and minds. We had a one-to-one with our coach last Thursday, and we were doing some reflection in it. And we had a few like drop-ins, didn't we? Like real mic drop moments where we were like, holy shit. Say hi, guys, so we know that you're here.
Yes, tell us who you are, where you're on. We're live against it on a few different platforms. I think we're live on Facebook and LinkedIn. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. Hello, LinkedIn. It's the first time live on my LinkedIn. So if you're on LinkedIn, especially say hi, because it's so funny. We thought we didn't have LinkedIn Live facility. Turns out we do. We just didn't realize that they don't notify you when you get it. So anyway, here we are. Oh, hey. Hi, Jane. Good to see you. Right. So Cheryl, do you want to share? Like we just had a real one of those aha moments, didn't we, last week?
We did. I think it's really good to reflect on where you're at, because what can happen is you just take day by day, you start to do all of these amazing, fantastic things, and you fail to stop and reflect and look at how far you've come, because it just becomes the norm. And
quickly becomes the norm.
Like now is your time is 4 on the 18th of June. 4 people, 4, like, oh my God, like we'll be going into our 5th year of business. Like, how can we have been in business for 4 years? It is just absolutely flown by, because it doesn't feel like work, right? And you know, over the last 3 weeks, so basically when we went to LA in February, we declared that we wanted to do more retreats and have more speaking opportunities in the UK and across the world. And in April, we ran a retreat in Manchester. In May, we flew to France to a chateau to deliver a money mindset wealth session at Karen's mastermind. And then the week after, we flew to Portugal. We literally were at 3 retreats in 3 different countries in 3 weeks. And that was because we declared that's what we wanted to do in February. This is how quickly it works. Like, and Donna and I were reflecting back, like asking ourselves what we were doing 5 years ago. Working in corporate, which there isn't anything wrong with that. But for me, and personally, I was in a company that had misaligned values. I was working out of integrity. It was soulless. I was literally just there going in day to day, saying to Donna, like, literally, don't want to be here. And like 5 years on, we're about to celebrate our 4th birthday. We've just delivered 3 retreats in 3 different countries. It's pinched me, but we don't. We do. We were sat in France, weren't we, in this beautiful ground, looking at each other, going, like, this is our life. We created this. We created it.
So powerful. And for me, and so we did this exercise together. And so 5 years ago, I was sitting thinking, yes, I had my own business. I'd set up a consultancy at that point, which I had to remind myself of. It's almost like I forget about that bit. So I'd set up the consultancy, but I was still working away. I was still packing my bag on a Sunday night, getting on a train to go to Birmingham. I was at the train station by 6 in the morning. I was in Birmingham walking around with my bags and stuff by 9 o'clock in the morning, and would work 12 hours a day for the 3 or 4 days I was there, and then come home and try and fit being in a mom and a daughter and a sister and a friend, and try and squeeze Cheryl in and do all the things, you know, just for a couple of days over the weekend and then back away again. And like I said, one of the low points I remember was when Caleb wasn't well and my sister taking him to the doctors. And I remember being in a room in Birmingham, while she sat with the phone up in the doctors with me screaming, saying he's not well, don't fob us off, he needs an X-ray. Da, 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 da. He ended up having an MRI scan, and it was just that frustration. But my mantra at the time was, "This is the sacrifice. This is the price you pay for the life you live."
For the money.
And that was genuinely what I believe, for the money, for the being able to pay for the nice things and do all the nice things. And like, that was the sacrifice. That was what I taught myself and spoke to myself. And then we were just sitting looking like, so I had money, but I didn't have the happiness or balance. And again, if you ask me, and I say this all the time, I would tell you I loved my job. Like Cheryl, I didn't dislike my job. I love the people I work with. I love the impact that I had. I love that I could go into these businesses and really turn around how their people felt, how their customers felt, and make it better. I loved that feeling. But the trade-off was, and I remember very clearly when I was asking, when I was deciding whether or not to do that job in particular, and I remember speaking to a friend and saying, "What should I charge?" And she said, "How much is it worth to be away from your family?" And that was like, how do you put a price on that? But I had to, because I had to give a price that would compensate for the absence of me in their life. And now it's so different. Like, I've just been, I got up and exercised this morning. I then picked my dad, dropped Gabby off at daycare. Caleb dropped Neil off. Neil dropped Caleb off as well. I picked my dad up. My dad just retired last month. Been for a walk with dad down the beach, sat in had a coffee, come back. I'm doing stuff with Cheryl and stuff this afternoon. It's like, Neil works for the business. So this weekend we booked 3 holidays, because we can book holidays around when we want to book holidays. I messaged Cheryl about one of them. I was like, I'm not sure if the dates fit, just like, book it. We'll work everything else around your dates.
We'll work the campaigns that we want to do around our holidays. Because we can.
Which is mental. Is any of this resonating, guys, if you're watching? And Cheryl, your life is very different now, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this morning Graham retired in October, so he's been home in October. He's currently building us a summer house in the back garden, which has taken up all of his time. But like, his niece came down this morning with her new puppy. We've been on a walk along the beach, had a coffee. Then I've just been sitting doing some admin, coming to do live. I've got a little bit to do something with Holly after this. Then I'm going to be PT session. Like, this isn't just, I don't know, like when we worked in corporate, it's not even something I would have fantasized about. I said I knew I wanted to be a life coach, but I hadn't associated with being a life coach the freedom and the abundance and the fun and happiness that comes with. It was all just about coaching, because I didn't know what I didn't know. So for some of you guys who are still in the grind, who are still we weren't doing this when we first set up our business, by the way. We were repeating our corporate behavior in Donna's kitchen. So we were sat in Donna's kitchen, just doing the same thing as we were in corporate. So if you are in corporate, or you've set up a new business, but you're sitting, tying yourself to the desk because you have guilt around not doing that, or you feel like you need to work hard and 12 hours a day to earn money, which is what we did. Like, at that time, I didn't like allow myself to dream about what a day can look like, or what our life looked like. Going away, traveling, speaking at different events, just having this freedom and flexibility. Like Nick, our coach, always said to us, design your life. How do you want your day to be? How do you want your week to be? What do you want your life to be? And work from there, didn't she? That's what she said to us. Design your life, work backwards from there, and it'll happen. And guess what? Every day isn't like this, but majority of days are.
Which is crazy. And listen, Cheryl and I work hard, but you choose your hard. Like, we work in a very focused, very productive way. We, work late nights. We'll be working till 10 o'clock tonight on calls, but it's things that we choose to do. It's choices that we make. The hard before, for us in corporate, and again, this isn't about for everybody, right? But for us, hard was being at the behest of everybody else, our diaries not feeling like our own, literally having no white space, just being back to back to back, and calls starting from in operations. Our calls would start from 7 or 8 in the morning and go up till 8 or 9, 10 o'clock at night, and include weekends a lot of the time as well, because of the kind of work that I did particularly. So that felt a lot harder, and it wasn't mine to manage. And only having like 20 days holiday or 25 days holiday, or how many days we had, like, again, I booked 3 holidays on Sunday. Like, and I know that not everybody gets to do that. And it wasn't that they were super expensive or anything, but it's like more the freedom that we can do that, because we've designed our life around the fact we want the flexibility that when Caleb is off, that we can do things.
And we've also booked our retreat. So when Donna and I sat in the kitchen before we'd started Now Is Your Time, and we're talking about doing stuff together, we thought the first thing we'd actually do was run overnight retreats. That's what we thought. And actually, we haven't run an overnight retreat yet. So again, we declared in February that one of the things we wanted to do this year was run an overnight retreat. Then out of the blue, Karen Kasane gets in touch with Donna and says, I'm running a retreat at my home at this beautiful chateau. I want mindset session there. I thought of you and Cheryl first. Please come and be part of it and deliver the session. We did. We get there and we're like, oh my God, this is amazing. Ooh, we could have a retreat here. So that was a couple of weeks ago. Guess what, guys? We've booked a retreat in September for our elite ladies and sold most of the spaces within a couple of days. So we're now going back, running our own retreat there. Like, we didn't know any of this was going to happen a few weeks ago, right?
And the thing is, like Cheryl just said, they were like, and like, it might have felt out the blue in that we didn't approach Karen, but actually this is what happens when you get very good at consciously manifesting. You're constantly setting the intention, and the universe does the rest, and she always delivers. And we're going to talk about that in a second. I just want to share what Jill's just said. So since I changed my mindset, my life has completely changed in the last 3 months. Just the last 3 months, guys. Jill is in our online group. I've become a published paid writer. In 3 months, being paid for a talent. I get to exercise every morning. I pick my grandson up from school. I get to go wedding dress shopping with my daughters. And I've been working on manifesting our dream retirement in France. And last night we discovered our house is worth double what we thought it was. France is getting closer, right? Like, there is so much good stuff available. Like, Jill is amazing. And since she joined our program, she has done the work and shown up and really committed herself and already seeing the rewards of it. So, and even going back to, like Cheryl was saying, we went to the chateau and we thought, God, it would be amazing to be here. But I actually remembered last night, Cheryl and I were messaging and chatting, that about 20 years ago, I remember when I worked in a very different industry then. And I remember saying, I just would love to take women away, like for a few days, like on these immersive events where they just totally change their life. And look what we're doing. Like, it's just, and we love the day events, we love the live in-person day retreats, but something very different happens when you're in a space for a prolonged period of time. You get to really open up. So Monday to Friday, we're in this chateau, this exclusive, like, incredibly beautiful energy around the chateau in Cognac in France. And yeah, over half the spaces went in like 48 hours from our elite girls, which is just amazing. And if you want to know about how you could come and join us there, you do have to DM us. But so it's our birthday next month. Is next month, isn't it? Yeah, we kind of got together in the May, but it officially was our birthday when we always say the day we registered at Company's House. That was like officially like, this is it, we're serious people. Was the 18th of June. And we can't believe we're 4. And since then, we can't believe we've built a 7-figure business. Like, it blows my mind. Bearing in mind, guys, my limiting belief was in corporate, I can't be a coach because I can't earn the money in coaching that I can in corporate. And I'm not saying this in a like, hey, well, look at us. Cheryl and I earn more money now than we did in corporate, and we're still able to do more, have more, be more, and have more impact. Yesterday, a woman on a call that I was having with her said, like, I don't want to think about where I would have been if I hadn't met you and Cheryl. You are literally saving lives. And she's in our 6 months group program. And for me, I literally had chills. It was the most amazing thing. So we get to have this abundance. And by abundance, guys, I don't just mean money. It's about the time. It's about the joy. It's about that wealth of having the walk on the beach with my dad this morning, of Cheryl being able to work late and go for a walk with the puppy. It's like, it's whatever it is to you, that abundance is possible for you. But we get that right now, it might seem like a pipe dream. It might seem like, well, it's all right for them because they're doing that, that, and that. I used to think like that. Our business was started 3 months after I had a conversation with a woman who told me that she'd left her job in London, she'd gone to work, she'd set up her own business as a health coach at the time. And she said to me, it was Friday lunch I was having, she said, anyway, I've got to go now. I'm going to meet my friend for a glass of wine and walk the dogs on a Friday afternoon. My mind literally was like, I went, you do what? She said, well, we don't really work on Fridays. And I remember ringing Cheryl and going, this woman doesn't work on Fridays. Like for me, if I finished work by 7 o'clock on a Friday, it was a win. Fridays were really busy days. So that blew me. And I was saying to Cheryl, can you imagine just not working on a Friday? Like, not just because you've had a baby and you've gone part-time, like just not working on a Friday. Cheryl, do we work on Fridays?
We don't have any calls on Fridays. We have all of our appointments, puppy classes, admin, facials, massages, our energy work. It's still work, right? But it's energy work, self-care Friday, study Friday. Like we don't work any day really. We just have fun. But
well, we still work in the traditional sense, but Mondays and Fridays, Cheryl and I don't have calls. We just have CEO time, we have personal development time, personal growth time, spiritual growth time. And that's really important for us. And sometimes that means getting your nails done, and sometimes it means studying. It's like you get to choose. But when we had the limiting beliefs of there's not enough money, I'm not good enough, money is hard to come by, money is the root of all evil. When we had all of those beliefs about money, it was we couldn't go from where we were in corporate in the golden handcuffs to running our own business. There was a big mindset transformation that had to happen to enable us to do that. And that's really what we want to share with you today.
Yeah.
Because people ask us all the time, well, how did you manage to go from corporate into having your own business? How did you manage to, how did you leave? What did you? And the thing is, people sometimes want to know the nuts and bolts of it, but that's not the answer. The answer is what happened up here to enable that to happen. Because we know lots of people with lots of money in the bank who could leave corporate if they wanted to, or set up their own business, or work less hours, or whatever, and they can't. And we know lots of people who are running businesses and have a side hustle business who are literally working more hours than they were in corporate and not enjoying the business. And that's a mistake that me and Cheryl made in that first year. We got over the hurdle of leaving corporate. We set up the business. But like Cheryl said, we were still slaves to it, and we weren't enjoying it, and we weren't getting any more clients from doing it that way.
Yeah,
it was a bit bonkers, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Hustle.
we basically chained ourselves to Donna's kitchen table in HQ and thought that if you just work loads of hours, and like I always describe it, like head down, arses in the air, just not looking up from our laptops for like 12 hours a day, that was going to build the business. And in actual fact, it didn't because we weren't really doing the work in our mindset. So
working harder doesn't mean success. And if it did, we'd all be fucking multimillionaires, and we're not. Do you know what I mean? Like, there is a different, smarter way of working. But the problem is now that a lot of you, like you working against the mindset machine, which tells you that you've got to work hard and money only comes with sacrifice. And for me, I'd had a lot of money and good money through the jobs that I did, but it was a sacrifice. I had to learn that it didn't necessarily mean sacrifice to have a good living. And that was one of the hardest limiting beliefs I've had to break. And that's why Cheryl and I want to help you with that.
We do. So,
drum roll. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Mind blown.
So, Wealth Without the Hustle is back. It's back, people.
And if you've done Wealth Without the Hustle before, tell me if you've done it. We've only done it once. We did it last
November.
October.
We did a three-day workshop in November. Before that, we had run it, but it was as a masterclass. So it's a 3-day live workshop, which starts on the 6th of June. So it's on the 6th, 7th, and 8th of June. And this is really, really helping you to just get really clear about where you are now, where you want to get to, having a plan for the rest of the year so that you are really, really successful and really helping you to tackle your wealth mindset. We've got an amazing wealth mindset method that we're going to be teaching you across the 3 days to help you to really work on what is going on in here, to help you to really manifest the reality that you want. Like Donna and I have shared with you our reality. This is what we want to create, but you might want to create something different. And in order to create a different reality, we've got to then start to create a different mindset.
100%. 3 days packed. And the guys who joined us last time said it was a total game changer. On day one, we go really deep into self-sabotage around how that's showing up, how it's creating overwhelm, how you are creating overwhelm, not the job, not the business. So when you're in your business and your business is running you, like that's a bad show, right? Especially if you're not earning the money that you want from your business. So we want to teach you really how to stop undervaluing yourself and undercharging for what you do and just give and not getting back, and how you get really clear on what your business is, who you serve and what you're doing, so that you can move forward into the rest of the workshop with crystal clarity. Because on day 2, we share with you our proven, as used by all of our clients all over the world, to manifest new cars, build houses, huge jobs, global deals, become millionaires, buy boats, like you name it. When you really learn how to consciously manifest, all bets are off to manifest the stuff that you want, not the stuff that you don't want, that is, because we're all manifesting. So we show you our foolproof formula, which is so simple, so you can walk away knowing exactly how to do it properly, because you're not doing it right now if you haven't done what you want. If you're not getting the results you want right now, you just don't know how to manifest in the right way. That's all. And then day 3, we'll go deep in on your money mindset specifically. Now, people tell us all the time, money doesn't make you happy. It doesn't, 100% right. But I know that life gets a lot easier when you have the freedom of choice that money gives you, rightly or wrongly. Money gives you this freedom, okay? So when we are in this scarcity, when we have all these limiting beliefs about money, when your subconscious is screaming at you all the crap stuff about money, it's very difficult for you to move into that CEO status of your own life. And we want you to feel confident in your life and to be making the decisions that you want based on the happiness, balance, and freedom that you want to create for you and your family. Because you didn't start your business to have less money and to work hard and hustle harder than you were in corporate. And if that's what you're doing right now, trust us, we know, we've been there. And with everything we knew, we still went down the bloody rabbit hole of working more and earning less. So we want to help you, teach you what we know from going from earning crap money in the first year of business to shaking ourselves up and going, right, what works, we know what works, let's do that, to then in the next 3 years earning $1 million. Okay. And again, I'm not saying this to go, yeah, look what we did. I just want you to know we're 2 middle-aged women from the northeast of England who didn't know all about setting up an online business, and we've made $1 million. If we can, so can you.
Absolutely. Biggie's just said, I just had the shift on money in such a funny way. I couldn't find the vibration of money. Tried for 6 years. Now I finally know the vibration of money for me is joy. Wow.
Yes, 100%. You can't feel miserable and be earning good money. Like, it just doesn't. And if you did, you wouldn't enjoy it when you got it. This training, guys, is worth thousands of pounds. I'm not kidding you. We would normally train something like 997 to do this program with us, and we're not charging that this time, okay? So for you, I want you to look at this and invest in yourself for these 3 days. It's only 97 quid. It's £97. It's less than you spend on your bloody Starbucks over the month, and you get to keep the recordings, which we don't usually ever do for our trainings, okay? So, and we're going to open a private exclusive Facebook group for you the Thursday before, and we'll keep it open for a couple of weeks after the sessions so that you really get to integrate the learning and ask us questions as you're doing that. We want you to be earning more, working less, having the freedom, happiness, and balance that you truly, truly, deeply desire deep down, okay? Whatever that looks like for you, it will be different for all of us.
I love that. Vicky's just saying it happened because I thought I'd won the lottery, but then it turns out I haven't. But then I didn't care because I had the best 20 minutes of my life celebrating what would 10 grand worth of joy. No plans on what I buy, just how much joy. And again, joy is an inside job, right, Vicky? You can choose to be joyous at any time. Anytime. I love that. I love that. Jill, the links in the comments on wherever you're on, whichever platform, we'll put the links in there again. So click the button and you're in, lady. Imagine how many more paid writing gigs you're going to get once you do some more work on your mindset. Look at the place you're going to be coming from this time.
I love that, Vic. I swear to God, my inner being put an extra 0 there. That's just hysterical. That's
amazing.
just hysterical. Look, we could talk about this all day. Like last time, the girls who attended this said it literally blew their mind. A, they couldn't believe how much value they were getting for their investment. B, it was like when you learn these formulas, you can use it for your relationships, for finding your purpose, for earning more money. You can use it for whatever you want. And like we said, you get the replays there, but you are going to be in a small, exclusive, very unique group of people who are learning what it takes many people like a lifetime to know. We've broken it down into very simple, step-by-step, proven framework, structures and systems, so you can keep taking it away and reapplying it. We've got the most beautiful workbooks for you to help you work through it as well.
Jill, after working with you, I'm living more abundantly and things are coming to me. Sign up now. Oh, amazing. Yes, you are swanning around the world, darling. So we will be live. We're going to be showing up. We're going to be in your faces, in your mushes, right? We are going to be showing up. We're going to be live. We're live again tomorrow at lunchtime. I might be live. And we're going to, next week, we're going to have some of our ladies who have been through this workshop, who are part of our programs, coming and just telling you about the difference that it's made to their lives. Because it's good to hear from them, because you get a different perspective every time somebody shows up and tells their story, and see what resonates with you. £97. And if you're sitting there saying, well, I don't know if I'm worth it, or I don't know if I deserve it, or I don't know if I'm good enough to go on this program, you need to click the fucking button.
Yeah, and I'm telling you now, do not DM me saying when you're doing it again. It's one of my things I don't like. Don't DM me. Come on this one, make it happen for you. Like, we've had people join this who are out of the country. Please don't ask me when we're doing it again. We only do things like this once or twice a year. So at this point in time, we have no plans to do it again. So please just sign up. If you know you can't make it live, you can watch the replay. You're still going to be live in the Facebook group, okay?
Amazing. Right. Thank you.
German.
Thank you, people. We will see you. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow, 12 p.m. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Have a great day.
Boom. Carol out.